Good morning, boys and girls. It's so nice to be back at the Fort Myers Middle School Academy of the Art School. Thank you again for allowing Mrs. P, that's me, Learning for Life, to come in here and do a lesson on anger conflict management. Anger. It's so important to understand. People think that anger is a bad thing. How many of you think that anger is a bad thing? You really do? It's not. It's a very healthy thing to be angry. It's how you deal and manage your anger. So we're going to go right into this lesson. We want you to be a part of this so all the other boys and girls in the district can see it once we send it out to them. So here we go. Anger, conflict management. Here's the module. Self-discipline. There are 6 lessons in this module. We're probably not going to get through all of them, but that's okay. You are going to explore dealing with anger and staying healthy. Learn about managing conflicts and coping with stress. How many of you, by raising hands, get stressed every day? I know adults do too, not just kids. Okay, we all get stressed. We're going to learn how to understand how to build that self-confidence within ourselves and then to set goals. So we're going to read every screen and then we're going to click to next. Here we go. Here's the little module, little taping.
Hello boys and girls. In this character development module, we are going to focus on working through conflict, taking care of yourself and your health, setting goals, and becoming more self-confident, all through self-discipline. Anger is the emotion we show to others when we are feeling frustrated, hurt, or disappointed. How we handle our anger influences the effect it has on ourselves and on others. We will learn to better manage our anger in positive ways. Feelings like anger or hurt are sometimes hard to talk about. They get jumbled up inside of us. And not knowing how to talk about your feelings can be stressful too. Writing about our feelings sometimes helps us understand ourselves better. We can also learn steps to help us reduce our stress. Breathe, think, and do. These steps will help us if we practice them each time we feel stress beginning to build. Learning how to control our stress for our physical health and emotional well-being is a big part of growing up. As you get older, peer pressure can also increase. You might already face negative peer pressure to try drugs or alcohol. Today, we will learn about the risks you face so you make important choices that can help you stay healthy and not be persuaded to use drugs to keep friends. We will focus on drugs and their harmful effects and ways of resisting peer pressure. Resisting pressure from peers can be tough to do. It takes a lot of inner strength and self-discipline. Today, we are going to explore our individual strengths and our areas of improvement. We will create a plan of action and time frame for strengthening ourselves. When we do this, by the end of this module, you will learn skills for avoiding peer pressure, learn the risks of drugs and alcohol, and better understand what makes you special. You will identify your talents and areas for improvement and then set goals. You will also have identified ways to better manage your anger and emotions in a positive manner.
So here's an overview. We're going to explore sources of anger, learn how anger affects ourselves and others, and understand how to handle anger. Some vocabulary words are going to be keywords: aggressive, assertive, mediation. And then we're going to review about conflict.
Aggressive.
Aggressive is an adjective and it means mean and unfriendly in one's actions, ready to argue or start fights. So let's go down to multiple choice, and at this time, here's an example. She has a hard time getting along with others because of her aggressive nature. Choose the actions that show a person who is not aggressive. So just give me a hands up if you think that the noisy kids pushed to the front of the line, is that not aggressive? If you think it's not aggressive, Raise your hand. So the fans didn't get to see because they didn't fight through the crowd. Is that being aggressive? Not aggressive? Do you know what the word aggressive means, guys? What does aggressive mean? Let's back up and talk about that. What does it mean to be aggressive? Mean and unfriendly in one's actions, ready to argue, start fights. How do you relate to that when you hear aggressive? Say it louder. Ready to start problems. They want to start, because they want attention, of course. They want to start problems. Yes, sir?
Putting your anger out?
Getting your anger out. So a lot of us become aggressive because we're just so angry, and that's one way that maybe you would choose to become aggressive. That's not always a good thing. The fans didn't get to see because they didn't fight through the crowd. It says to choose the action that show a person who is not aggressive. This is correct. How about he threatened the teacher and was expelled from school? Is that aggressive or not aggressive? Aggressive, right. How about the powerful nation forced its smaller neighbor to defend itself? Is that correct? So he's confident.
Assertive.
Assertive means confident and bold in speech or actions. Being assertive. Being confident and bold in speech and or actions. Here's an example. They wanted their leader to be assertive. Choose the actions that show a person who is assertive. Is it the employees was shy and timid? No. Is it he kept to himself and was quiet?
No.
Is it she is not afraid to voice her opinions?
Yes.
And is it they didn't speak up when making an offer? No. The only one is she is not afraid to voice her opinion.
Mediation.
Mediation, it says, is the act or process of resolving a conflict between two parties. It could be two groups of people or just two people in general.
Mediation.
The act or process of resolving a conflict between two parties. Here's the example they share. The student tried a mediation to patch up the falling out between two friends. You know what a mediation is? Who knows what that is? It's like you kind of, one person who kind of doesn't take either side, and they try to make them work it out. They mediate, they go back and forth to try to have them come to a compromise, okay? That's mediation, a mediator. So, which of the following is an example of mediation? And again, the student tried a mediation, that's an example, to patch up the falling out between two friends. How about the countries who didn't get along decide to go to war?
No.
Is that mediation? No. How about neither of the teams will accept the referee's decision? Good job. How about the companies go to fight in court because the lawyers can't agree? Okay. And the third party gets between two disagree to settle their dispute. That is a mediation. They get between two groups or two people to help work it out. Here's a verb.
Conflict.
And that means a strong disagreement or difference of opinion. Here's an example. The neighbors had a conflict over the property line. Let's do this first activity. Anger is the emotion we show to others when we are feeling frustrated, hurt, or disappointed. How we handle our anger influences the effect it has on ourselves and others. We will look at some general ways that we can deal with anger. Anger is often connected with conflict between people. What's happening in the picture here? Is somebody angry there? Who's angry?
Yes. The girl.
The girl? What about the guy? What does he look like? What's he feeling?
Confused?
Confused. And she's kind of doing her body language, like stay away. Okay, don't come any closer. She's angry. Aggressive. This is a physically or verbally attacking the person through such negative behavior as fighting, yelling, or putting the other person down. The conflict increases. Do you consider yourself sometimes to be aggressive? Once in a while? And adults too? Are adults aggressive? Absolutely. Anyone can be aggressive, okay? It's physically or verbally attacking the other person through mean words or starting a fight. That is not the right thing to do. That's being very aggressive. Passive aggressive. This is looking calm on the outside. A passive, relaxed, aggressive person. look like they're calm, but they're really not. They're holding it in. We will not cooperate in solving the problem. In fact, we usually will sabotage or work against the problem. All attempts to resolve the issue. That's a passive-aggressive person. Okay? So they're not going to cooperate in solving the problem like a mediator would do. In fact, they usually will make it worse, sabotage it, or work against all attempts to resolve the issue. Now you have assertive. This kind of personality is we work so hard to solve the problem in a calm manner, using active listening and other communication skills. This last method is what is used in mediation. Each party is willing to recognize his or her anger and solve the issue. That's what a mediator does. A mediator is usually an assertive person. They want to solve the problem in a calm manner. How many of you feel you're assertive? Yeah? Good. Glad to see that. Remember the three terms: aggressive, passive-aggressive, and assertive. So now think about sources of anger. Where can anger come from? Do you think it comes from frustration?
Yes.
It's possible. How about depression? You think?
Yes.
It's possible. How about parents?
Yes.
Absolutely, it's possible. Friends?
Yes.
And teachers?
Yes.
And okay, everywhere, right? How do you respond to anger? Do some people start to yell?
Yes. Yes.
Do some people physically get violent? Sometimes they hit. How about screaming to get it out of you? Sometimes people are screaming. What about pouting? You know what that is? Like pouting sometimes. And some people do it in another way. So what responses do you get from your anger? Do you think you get responses if you yell back? Maybe.
Yes.
Hitting, screaming, and other reactions. All of the above. So let's take a look at the anger tree. Think of the last time you were angry. Think of who was there and what was said. How could you have reacted instead? So let's list the alternative ways that you could have handled the situation or the times you have been angry. One alternative might be to take a walk. So I want you just to think about the time, the last time that you were angry. Think about who was there, where you were, okay, and how you could have reacted instead. So who wants to share about a time that you were recently angry? It could have been 5 minutes ago, it could have been yesterday, it could have been last month. You want to share? Last night, what were you angry about? Speak louder, sweetie. You were angry about?
My brother.
Your brothers, siblings. How many of us get frustrated and angry at our siblings? Because they're either younger or older, doesn't matter. But why'd you get annoyed with your younger or older?
Me?
Yeah. No, but was this your brother, you said? So what did he do? He was bothering you. How was he bothering you? Was he like taking your things and throwing it all over the place? Okay. Was this in your room? Okay. So how did you handle the situation? You just yelled. So he yelled. You were angry, right? What could you have done instead of yelling at your brother to avoid everything? What? You could have gone and talked to a parent. If I do, I'm going to just give you one of these right away. Awesome, awesome. Oh, come on, give it to somebody. Who's next? Who would like to share? Who would like to share? Come on, I know you all are angry. Come on. Tell me when you're angry. Let me hear it. You don't have any anger issues? Go ahead, sweetheart.
Yeah, when I was in 5th grade.
When you were in 5th grade, just speak a little bit louder, okay? What happened?
There's this friend, she doesn't want me to have any more friends. She wants me all by herself.
So she wanted you as her only friend. She didn't want you to have any other relationships with friends at all. How did you handle that? How did it make you feel? Were you angry? Upset?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did you do with that anger and upsetness?
I tried to talk her not to do that.
You tried to communicate. You know, that's something that's so important that we need to do. Instead of taking out your phones and texting to each other, or doing your FaceTime is really good too on social media, but it's so important to communicate with each other. So how could you have handled that? Did she talk with you when you were trying to talk with her? Okay, so that worked out for you, right? That's good. Good. Anyone else want to share? Go ahead. Go for it.
And I lost a match in Fortnite.
You lost a what?
A match in Fortnite.
What is that? Is that like a game thing?
It's a game.
So you lost, was that like a video game?
Yeah.
So who'd you get mad at? Who were you with?
My mom.
You with your mom? She was playing video games with you? That's pretty cool. I used to.
She was in my room.
Oh, she was in your room. Okay. And you got mad at her because why?
Because she took it off.
She turned it off without saying anything to
And
you?
I lost, then she took it off.
Oh, you lost, then she took it off, and you want to play again to win. Okay. How did you handle, were you angry, disappointed, frustrated?
I ran myself into the wall.
You what?
I ran myself into the wall.
You ran yourself into the wall, so physically you hurt yourself a little bit, right? How could you have handled that differently? There would have been a better outcome, that you wouldn't have hurt yourself.
I tried to blow off the steam by doing that.
Okay, so blow off the steam. How do you get rid of the stress and the upsetness? What are some ways we could do? Let's talk about that. Yes. What can you do? Say it louder. Believing. Oh, breathing. As we were doing before. Ready? So let's do it. Ready? Hold it and release. By breathing, you're telling your mind to stop what you're thinking about, and take that self-control. How else can you stop yourself from getting angry? What could you do? What can you do with your anger? What can you do? Anybody here like to eat? I know when I get angry, I tend to eat a lot more, right? That's why you kind of, which is not a healthy thing. What were you going to say? When your sister, gotta talk louder, when your sister kept bothering you, she went on your phone without asking you? And she threw your phone, you're talking about your cell phone? Okay, did it break? No. You got mad and you slapped her? Oh, okay. What could you have done to do it differently? Have a different outcome, a more positive outcome. That's what this lesson is trying to help you to think about. Some people can run, jog, take a walk. You got to break away. When you're angry about something, you need to walk away from the situation. Walk away from the person, walk away from the group of people. You walk away, find something else to do, or find someone that you can talk to, that you can communicate with, that's not a part of that anger situation. Yes?
When I'm mad, I sleep.
When you're mad, you sleep?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a pretty good thing, although some people might be sleeping through their lives away, when they're, because some people are very angry all the time. But that's good. Just walk away, go to sleep.
When I'm mad, I go outside and kick the dumpster.
Oh, you go outside and kick the dumpster. Kicking the dumpster is better than kicking a sister or brother or a mother or father, right? So that's good. Go ahead, sweetie.
When I'm mad, I just do what I want to do.
You just find something that you like to do to calm you down. What helps to calm you down?
Reading a book.
Reading a book! Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I like that, Miss Becker. Reading a book, teachers. I love that answer. Let's move on, because we don't want to run out of time. So lots of different things. You have to put something in here in order to go forward. Here we go. You're out, I just put something. Okay, so sometimes when there is anger, that leads to conflict. One of the ways to resolve the conflict is mediation. Another person helps work out a way that the two parties in conflict can resolve their differences. It is very important, boys and girls, that the mediator be trusted by both of the people who are in conflict. Do you know what that means? Are you going to talk to somebody if you're having a problem with someone, and you're going to talk to somebody you really don't know or don't trust? No, of course not. You need to have that trust and faith in that person that they can help the both parties. Okay, that's what that's telling you. Okay. Why does that keep doing that? There we go. So here's reflection. What techniques will you try the next time you get angry? What are you going to do? Listen to music. Awesome. What else? The next time you get angry, what can you do? What can you do? Yes.
Paint upside down.
Say it louder.
Paint upside down.
Hang upside down. Okay. If you think that's going to help you all the blood's gonna go rushing to your feet, but you know, what else?
You mean your head?
Actually, I do exercise, is what you're really trying to say. Say it again.
Sleeping?
Sleeping, as this young lady did. What are you gonna do? Take a walk outside.
I play basketball.
Say it again.
Basketball.
So go play some basketball, take it out on that basketball instead of taking it on yourself, right? Sometimes I would take, when I'm angry, I would take a pillow and I'd scream into the pillow. You do that too? Yeah. I take that pillow and just scream into the pillow. So there's all kinds of ways you can do.
Some people eat.
Some people eat, as Miss P said, that's right, some people do eat, that's right. Okay, let's finish this up, guys. How will the anger tree help you? You know, that anger tree is just for you to identify different times that you're angry and what you can do when you get that anger feeling inside you. What can you do other than something verbally, mean words, hurting someone's feelings that way, or physically hurting them because you're angry? All the things you just said and many others is different things. There are different things that you can do to avoid getting angry. And if you get angry, it's okay. It's how you manage and deal with your anger, okay? That's very important, how you deal with your anger. So let's just pretend we just talked about that, and here's the vocabulary. Match each vocabulary word with its definition. So aggressive goes to what? A strong disagreement? Well, which one is a strong disagreement or difference of opinion? Aggressive, assertive, mediation, or conflict?
Meditation.
A strong disagreement or difference of opinion goes where?
Conflict.
Goes to, okay, let's see if I could do this.
The second one.
Conflict?
The second one's meditation.
I think you click conflict. Or whatever.
Oh, you guys are smart. Absolutely correct. How about the act or process of resolving conflict between two parties?
Meditation.
You think that's meditation? And that's the act of a process of resolving a conflict between two parties. How about confident and bold in speech?
Assertive.
You think it's assertive? You guys are smart. And how about mean and unfriendly in one's actions, ready to argue or start fights?
Aggressive.
Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Here's the summary, guys. Anger is an increasing problem in our society. How many of you agree with that? It is. Anger in itself is not a bad emotion. It's how you manage it that can become the problem.
Hey.
We need to learn techniques to manage anger in positive ways. In an aggressive way, negative behavior like fighting adds to the conflict. Fighting doesn't help. You might think it does, but it truly doesn't help.
Some people think it does.
Some people think it does, and they're wrong, because it's not going to help. In the passive-aggressive way, anger continues on the inside, even though we are outwardly calm, but they're burning up inside. They're ready to explode. In the assertive way, we speak, okay, up to communicate and use the methods like mediation to work towards solving the problem. So I'm just curious, how many of you are the assertive? Your personalities. Assertive. How many of you are assertive? How many of you are passive aggressive? Some hands went up, okay? Okay, you're calm on the outside, but, okay. And how many of you just can't handle your anger? You just, okay, so you guys really we need to help each other to learn. It's okay to become angry, but obviously the way you're handling your anger is not working for you. So you want it to work for you so that you can feel better inside, and so will the other person or group of people that you're having this disagreement with or argument with, that you're angry about. So make sure that you remember, anger, it's okay to be angry. It's how you deal with your anger. That was a tough lesson, but it's such an important lesson. And do people get angry just who are kids? No. Adults do too, right? And we get angry about lots of things. Can you share really quickly what type of things make you angry? Don't say names, no names, just what type of things make you angry? Yes? Say it again? Bothering, when people bother you. Okay, annoying, okay. What else? Yes,
Talking about your problem.
that gets you angry by talking about you mean somebody else talking
Yeah.
about your problems, like,
Talking
making,
about their problem.
oh, talking, okay, so you don't like to hear other people's problems.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can understand that, but I think it's important if the other person is someone that you care about, a family member, a friend, wouldn't you want to help them and listen to what their problems are? Those, but maybe not strangers, okay. Criticizing. That makes you angry when people criticize you, but criticism, there's good criticism. There's constructive, which is good criticism, and then there's not constructive criticism. That's when people are just making fun of you or criticizing you in an annoying way. But criticism is a good thing. Teachers, family members do it, authoritative people. It's good. Okay, so tell us again, what were you saying? When someone knocks over your food in the cafeteria on purpose, that gets you mad. I can understand why is that. Yes. Rumors. When people start rumors, okay? When someone takes something that's not yours, that doesn't belong to them, that's like stealing. Yes. When someone talks about your family in a negative way, okay? When someone's saying lies, and rumors somehow start the lies too. So what do you think you need to do about all this, what you just shared? Are you going to become physically aggressive? No. Are you going to think about what your choices are, what you can do, and then go find somebody who can help you, or find that mediator person who can come in between that you trust and talk to both of you if you're having a situation involving someone else? In other words, guys, again, anger, it's okay. It's okay to be angry. It's how you deal and manage your anger, because consequences can be pretty rough when people get physically abusive, verbal abuse, emotionally. It really can make us feel, really hurts us inside. So you have to remember that. You need to find a way to release that anger. Do not let it build up, and get that self-confidence, get that self-control to hone in on that anger, deal with it, push it down a little bit, go to someone who can help you. In school, who is the person that can help you in school when you get those feelings that you don't know what to do anymore? You're about to explode. Who can you go to?
The teacher.
A teacher is one, or who's in the school? Your school
Principal.
counselor, right? And possibly a good friend, or even the SRO officer, in school. And what about at home? Who can you talk to at home?
Yes,
Your parents, and maybe even if you have someone there, could be an aunt or an uncle or grandma or grandpa, or an older sister or brother who's been where you are, going through that whole anger series, and sometimes it can help. It just depends. So thank you guys, were awesome, and I'll see you next month, okay? Have a great, great Thanksgiving. What are you all thankful for? Tell me something again. Family, food, thankful to be alive.
Thankful for my
Good. Have a good one. Thank you guys.